Word up, word up, word up, everybody. This is the class all about poetry, spoken word, and short stories. My name is Kimberlie Wright. Thank you so much for joining. Today we're gonna continue our lesson from last week, which we were actually just partaking in a quick 10-minute timed writing exercise to improve our writing skills. So I hope that you had a chance to take your 10 minutes to do both of your writing lessons that you had about 2 weeks ago. A couple of people, not too many, were able to share those with us, but anything you have to share today will be welcome. So however, what I do want to go in today is, did you know that today is International Literacy Day? It's September the 8th, 2021, and International Literacy Day takes place on September 8th every year to raise awareness and concern for literacy problems that exist within our own local communities as well as globally. International Literacy Day was founded by proclamation of the United States Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization to remind the public of the importance of literacy as a matter of dignity and human rights. International Literacy Day brings ownership of the challenges of illiteracy back home to local communities where literacy begins one person at a time. So, you know, there are so many things that you can do to celebrate International Literacy Day. You can definitely write about it. You can read something today. So many other ways you can celebrate. Also, did you know that today is National Ampersand Day? National Ampersand Day. Woo, Miss Vicky. National Ampersand Day is celebrated on September 8th each year to honor the symbol and, you know, the and symbol. It's a Latin character and a logogram that depicts the conjunction and, A-N-D. And Miss Vicky is showing hers right now. Let's go ahead and, because Miss Vicky made this in my pottery class. She's so creative. And if you look at the actual ampersand, her piece is titled "And Us." And if you see on the side, you see a man sitting, that's us, color of us, and us. Looks really, really good. Thank you so much, Ms. Vicky. The ampersand has been in use since the 1st century AD. Although most people don't give much thought to this symbol, it has a long and illustrious, it has a long and illustrious history. Even if you don't consider yourself a language nerd, we think it's the perfect day to celebrate the ampersand. So if you perhaps get a chance to write something today, maybe use the ampersand. So hold on 1 second. Why is the ampersand called the ampersand? Anybody know? Okay, etymology, the name ampersand is a perversion of the word and, per se and. Y'all get that? Want me to write it down? It is, listen to it again. The ampersand is a perversion of and, A-N-D, by itself creates the word and, it's the perversion of A-N-D, per se and, ampersand. So itself creates the word and, the symbol and is formed from the ligature of the Latin word for and, a, or et. And does the ampersand count as a word? Anybody? Do you think the ampersand counts as a word?
No.
You said no?
I said no, it's a symbol of a word.
Of course, an ampersand is a word. Look at it in all its word grandeur, but and is a symbol, like you said. That's correct. All right. All right. So moving along forward. Today we were concentrating on contemporary artists and especially local artists. Today, I'm just going to read a piece from this artist. Sorry, Bree Marr. And this piece is called To Write from the Heart. To Write from the Heart. The art of writing, though seemingly inviting, is not as easy as it seems. That finished product in your eyes exciting can make some go to extremes. The message you convey is wrong, some will say. Your efforts they will never applaud. Notoriety is a price some will pay, while others will claim you're a fraud. Though you meant no offense, they can leave you tense. You can't understand their reaction. Sometimes in writing, you need a sixth sense, as you'll never please every faction. Some live to complain, though they drive you insane. Your work as an artist is yours. Most of the time, their complaints are inane. Self-respect is what reassures. When the critic is found, hypocrisy will abound. They allege they know better than you. Disagree, and you will, and they will found what they're saying is true. So don't be unkind, remain totally refined when their comments try to tear you apart. To others' opinions, don't ever be blind. Just remember to write from your heart. All right. So for our time writing exercise, we had 7 participants. We had Miss Gloria Langley, and what we did was convert, we actually guessed, I gave out Spanish words to you all, and you guessed what you thought it meant, and then you were supposed to look it up and see what it really meant. However, you were really essentially supposed to write 2 stories, a story that involved the grocery store dealing with your Spanish word. Ms. Gloria Langley had Madeira, and she said she thought it was a seasoned female. Miss Vicky had grito. She said she thought it meant grits. Betty Coleman had Verano. She said it meant being strong, and she presented her piece last week. Miss Jean Blackshear Harris had Viejo, which she thought meant free, but it actually meant old, and she presented her piece last week. Sorry, Miss Betty Coleman had Verano. It meant, and she said she thought it meant being strong, but it meant summer. All right. Sharon Hartnett had aumentando, which is stop or be still. Aumentando means to increase or make greater or bigger. My word was ayudar. I thought it meant yard, but it actually means help. And last week I gave a new prompt or Spanish word to Miss Sally Dawson, rece. So anybody, also we have our other 10-minute writing exercise that we were supposed to complete out of a book. I ask you all to just get a book and go to page 56. The first sentence that you read would have been your last sentence to your poem, and then you're supposed to go to the beginning of the book and get the first sentence, which would be the first sentence of your poem. So if you have any of that particular writing, feel free to share with us. Yes, Miss Vicky.
I have both assignments. I had
Okay.
doctor appointment the last classes, so y'all had to bear with me. I had Gritto, which I looked up fine after I did my writing and everything, and I was amazed that it meant shout. I thought it was great. You know, Spanish version end up, they start out like American and they'll say grito, grito, but this time it was totally different. So my story is called Grito.
Sorry, can I interrupt? Sorry. Maybe you can shout at somebody. You can put it together by shouting at somebody about stirring them grits on the stove.
Hey, Dave, come over here and stop trying to tell me you need to cook those grits.
Sorry about that.
Grits. Okay, I call it Grito Delight. I have all my mental faculties, or so you would think. Let me explain. I woke up this morning bright and early with Grito on my sleep fuzzy mind. You know how you dream and you can't wait to get up to see if your dream was true? Well, I dreamed about a big bag of Grito. So I got up to check my pantry to make sure that my Grito was on the shelf. Of course, there was no Grito that had been a dream. I just needed to get dressed and get going to the grocery store to get all of my Grito supplies. So I quickly bathed, brushed my teeth, combed my hair, and got dressed. Now, where did I place my keys? I know I locked my car and my house door yesterday, so my keys had to be somewhere in this house. After about half an hour, I found my keys where I had placed them in my purse. As I was driving along the highway on my way to the Big T grocery store, the radio commercial went on and on about the shortage of Grito. It seems like everything else, the pandemic had caused a slowdown in the production of Grito. I was a little worried, but I knew that the Big T store stayed stocked with everything that I needed for my delicious Grito menu. I was right. There was plenty of Grito, eggs, bacon, and onions. I got home and made a fabulous Grito breakfast, just like in my dream. That's it. The end. Oh. My second is.
So, even though it's okay, it's no problem to say Grito, the actual word is pronounced with the little ring of the R.
Right.
It sounds like Gree. Grito.
Grito. And in the South, we say Grito.
That's funny. Okay. All right. So did you want to go on to your next piece? Or you think I just go ahead and continue with the Spanish words? Ms. Gloria Langley, did you have?
Yes, I do. I'm not going to tell you guys what it means until after I finish, because I think it'll make more sense.
No problem.
And I didn't look it up until after I wrote my piece.
Okay.
So the title of mine is, Was It Something I Said? Wow, what an unusual day. What started out as an ordinary day ended up far from ordinary. Perhaps it was because I decided to try a different grocery store with a wide variety of international foods. I was experimenting with a new Mexican cuisine recipe and wanted to make sure that I was picking up not only the right ingredients, but fresh ingredients. As I entered the market, I looked up at the sign that would direct me to the fresh produce station. The area that I was heading toward seemed to be more congested than any other area in the store. I wondered how I could stay socially distanced in such a crowded space. However, I found a vacant corner around the station to stand as I viewed the fresh produce. Everything was so colorful and fresh looking, and it smelled amazing. The only problem was that I was not familiar with the item that I was looking for and did not have a clue what it looked like. So I figured the next best thing would be to ask someone. Surely the older, seasoned looking lady standing near me would know what fresh tomatillos look like. After all, her outward appearance looked like she may have been a foreigner. So I turned to her and said, "Excuse me, can you show me the tomatillos?" Since she never turned toward me to acknowledge my question or even to acknowledge my being there, I assumed that she did not speak English and did not understand what I was asking. At that point, I went into what I thought was broken Spanish mode. I said firmly, "Madera, tomatillos," as I shrugged my shoulders, hopefully signaling her to point to the tomatillos. Well, that didn't work because the lady gave me the strangest look and hurriedly walked away as if I had insulted her. Not only did I get a weird look from her, but others around me gave me strange looks as well. Boy, was I embarrassed. Was it something I said? At that point, I wanted to slide to the floor right under the produce station. So after looking up the word Madera, which was my word, now I know why I was getting such strange looks. Madera is the Spanish word for lumber. I also learned a valuable lesson that day. It is never a good idea to make assumptions about a person's outward appearance, and it's definitely a no-no to make a judgment call regarding anyone's race or nationality.
That's true.
Mhm.
That was really funny and eye-opening. That was really good. So I love that. And so both of your one piece ended up being about both of the definitions of the word. So kudos, that was really good.
Thank you.
I wanted to say that sometimes always thinking that people with dark, shiny hair and they short or whatever, you think they are Mexican, or you sometimes tend to ask people if they're Mexican, but maybe sometimes even if don't even say, sometimes I'm not giving you advice, I'm just saying I've practiced not even to say, "Are you Hispanic?" I've just learned to ask people, "What's your ethnicity?" or what's your nationality? And then sometimes when I'm even thinking they Mexican, they come up with like just the most, something you would never even think. They say, "Oh, I'm Peruvian." I'm like, "Oh, okay, you from Peru."
I'm sorry, I gotta answer my door. Keep
Oh,
going.
no problem.
Somebody's at my door.
No problem. Anytime y'all got something to do, just keep
Yeah.
going ahead. So let me mute her as well.
Oh, you're the okay, come on in. I'm sorry, I was on a virtual class. Okay.
Kim, you muted yourself.
Ms. G, you have to unmute yourself. I'm sorry. Thank you, Ms. Betty.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Ms. Betty.
You're welcome.
Ms. Jean, you have to unmute yourself. Yes,
There,
ma'am.
I get, Kim, you gave us so many assignments. I don't know what I'm doing.
I ain't
But-
give y'all no assignment last week because when I asked y'all, did y'all want, so you said no.
But I wrote something about I'm a computer. What assignment was that?
Okay, I'll give it to you. I definitely have that. It's not no, you said I am a computer.
That's what you told me to write.
That's
You
What
told me
okay.
to
was
write it.
confused?
I don't know. I don't know what it.
It's okay. I'm gonna tell you right now. I have it.
Okay.
I got it, beautiful. All right. I gave y'all so many assignments, right? All right. Miss Jean, the last prompt I gave you said you're supposed to write about what a computer might daydream about.
Yes, I wrote it.
Okay.
Why did I do that? I mean, what was that assignment about? I don't know what.
It was just a few prompts that I gave everybody. Like I gave Miss Sharon Hartnett, imagine life inside an aquarium. I just gave you all some
Okay.
prompts in case you wanted to write about them. It was like when we first started our writing lessons. So go ahead.
Oh. Okay.
You ready?
What?
You have, I thought you said you wrote something about
Oh,
what,
I wrote it, but I don't necessarily have to read it.
why you don't want to read it? Because you're not.
Well, the thing is, I worked so hard on that last thing I wrote. Time, remember?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that took all my brain cells.
It's okay,
So-
just relax. You can come back on that another time if you feel the fever.
Okay.
Anybody else have anything else to share? Miss Vicky, do you have your piece to share about the book?
Yes, I do. At
Okay.
first I was going to do James Baldwin, but then I was looking on my shelf and I saw this marvelous book.
So you changed books on us.
No, I didn't. I just, James Baldwin was so, one sentence on James Baldwin was so long, it was long enough to make a story out of just that one long line. Then I went to page 56 and it had a paragraph for one sentence. So I said, well, let me get the book Remarks on Famous People. I just closed my eyes and pulled one of these books off the shelf. And I went to page 56. And 56, the last sentence on page 56, a good and faithful judge prefers what is right to what is expedient. And that's by Horace. It was a quote from Horace.
So that should be the first sentence of your poem. Keep going.
That's on page 56.
Uh-huh.
And on page 9 is the first sentence. I think you said page 9 would be the first sentence.
Yes, ma'am. And that's gonna be the last sentence of your poem, but what's that sentence?
The first sentence is, we gain nothing by being with such as ourselves. We encourage one another in mediocrity. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to give you the sentence though. We gain nothing by being with such as ourselves. Okay, that's the first sentence you said.
So that should be your last, that should be the
Okay.
last sentence of your
So
poem.
my first sentence is, a good and faithful judge prefers what is right to what is expedient. So I looked up the word expedient so that I would have a clear meaning and understanding of what I was about to write about. So the word expedient means
To rush.
it means to an end.
Yes, they're trying to rush that case on to get it to the end, but they
So I
said a
said-
good judge. That's good. Keep going.
Okay. So the beginning of mine was a good and faithful judge prefer. I'm sorry, that's my last. We gain nothing by being with such as ourselves. The name of my short story is An Examination of Sameness. An Examination of Sameness. Okay.
Wait, I don't mind if you wrote a short story. It could be a short story. That's why I said, please share whatever you have. I just don't want
In the
anybody
middle.
to get confused. Y'all know these supposed to be 10-minute writings.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
10 minutes. So it took me
Okay.
10 minutes to write this thing. We gained nothing by being such as ourselves. It was Sunday. The streets were empty as I took a walk through the tree-lined, quiet sidewalks in my neighborhood. So boring. The cookie cutter houses filled with people just like me. Same race, same age, and possibly same economic status. As I walked, I wondered, how did we choose a neighborhood that lacked any diversity? Did the everyday, everything sameness attract us like moths to a flame? Where were the children playing and running with noise and sheer joyful youthfulness? Where were the mothers pushing carriages full of the next generation? Of course, the neighborhood is filled with the music of birds and the warning clatter of squirrels as they scurry up nearby trees. They perch on the limbs watching and seemingly alarmed to see a real human walking by on a church time Sunday morning. They seem to know that we are usually in church singing the same faithful filled songs among folks with the same beliefs that we have. I think our individualism has been lost. There was a time when we had different ideas and fought for and against varying causes. Now we simply agree to being agreeable in our sameness as a means to an end. As I walk, I think that me and my neighbors should eventually take a walk to think as judges of ourselves. An examination of sameness. Is it right to isolate ourselves in sameness? A good and faithful judge prefers what is right to what is expedient. That's the last sentence. So it took me to say all of that is that we judge ourselves, but we should not, according to my first sentence, gain nothing by being such as ourselves. I don't gain anything with people who are just like me.
Right.
So we're all
Talking
different.
about checks and balances.
Yeah, we should explain our, in our diversity, we are better. We're better people.
And hold each other accountable.
Yes, true. We should judge ourselves. We
Okay.
hold ourselves to be accountable.
Great job.
Thank you.
And even though no matter what you all wrote or said, I was going to say great job, because the whole point of the lesson was to get you to write for 10 minutes.
I went for a walk and I tried to look at the houses, and that's from reality. The middle of that, even though I read those two sentences, I took a little walk and I looked around and I saw people in homes that were similar, but I saw no people. And it was a Sunday morning. Maybe it's a pandemic, but I think it was like that before the pandemic, that we have these beautiful neighborhoods, but no people coming out to really be real people, a community.
Yes, ma'am, Miss Jean.
Miss, oh,
Go
Miss
ahead.
Vicky, Miss Vicky,
Yes.
why did you change from Baldwin? Look behind me. See that picture?
Yes.
My grandson-in-law drew that.
Well, the book I chose initially, the sentences were very, very long.
Yes, long.
And I would have had to just take both of those sentences together and it would have made the 10-minute story. It didn't
No,
really
that's
give me
bold.
food for thought because it explained everything in the first sentence. And the last, I had no room for me. It was all Baldwin.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted you to see the picture that he did of Baldwin. He's so good.
He really is good.
Yeah.
He's wonderful.
He studied under Jamal. Jamal was his teacher, one of his teachers.
Dang, Jamal old.
No, I'm old.
I wanted to say to you all, I really appreciate you all, and thank you so much for your submissions for Grandparents' Day, which is going to be tomorrow. So classes are
Mhm.
canceled. Any class that's after the presentation, which will probably just be Antron Morgan's class. He's still gonna have his class, but tomorrow, the Grandparents' Day celebration is at 10 a.m. I hope that you're able to join Meletta Clayton's link to see what we have in store for you and what you submitted and presented yourself. So thank you for that. And also, I was trying to give you all a chance to be able to, well, I haven't had anyone yet to say that they wanted to do spoken word in one of the events. I've just had a couple people give me their pieces to actually recite for them. But if right at this time, if you still have a piece that you would like to submit to me to recite tomorrow for the Grandparents' Day celebration, please do that. It can be about your grandparents. It can be about your grandmother or grandfather. You know, so if you have any pieces, it could be a haiku, short poem, whatever, please email it to me, submit it to me, and I will present that and make sure you have credit in the show tomorrow. Anybody have anything else they want to share?
Are you going to read what we said, our quote about our grandmother?
I'm not going to read it. It's going to be part of a slideshow.
Oh,
Oh,
So
good.
everybody's going to read them at the same time. Yes, Miss Jean.
I was gonna say, when you speak tomorrow, tell them be sure to keep a little journal or something of things that their grandparents say.
Oh, okay, yeah, that'd be
Because
cool.
you'd be surprised at the little nuggets of truth, you know.
And to keep it for the new generations. That'd be great.
Yes, yeah, because we
Like-
lose them.
Like
Yeah,
you keep,
we lose them.
like you keep some of your recipes. You could probably keep them in a scrapbook or even just a journal. Okay, Miss,
Yeah.
thank you so much. I definitely will say that, Miss Gloria Langley.
I was just gonna say, I'm gonna have to leave at 11:15, so if it's okay with you, can I go ahead and read my book?
Oh, yes,
The
please
piece from my
do.
book?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you told me go to the first chapter and do the first sentence, right?
No, I said go to page 56 and get the
Six.
last sentence.
I got the last sentence, but
Sorry, I said go to page 56 and get the first sentence, and that's gonna be your first sentence of your poem. Then I said go to the front of the book and get the first sentence, which is gonna be the last sentence of your poem. But however you did it, just explain it to us. It's no problem.
anyway, let me just read it. I think I got it backwards, but anyway. The first sentence, what does it mean to be relevant? And the title of this is, I can have what I say. So the first sentence is, what does it mean to be relevant? Dictionary.com defines the word as bearing upon or connected with the matter at hand. Personally, I believe in the power of words. Words can build up or tear down. Words can build up or tear down, create power, or cause strife. So in my opinion, the words that a person speaks are relevant to life because there is a connection between what is spoken out of your mouth and what you might be experiencing in life. For me, since words are powerful tools and because I am in Christ, I have made a quality decision to be aware of what comes out of my mouth. However, I am still a work in progress, and many times I fall short, although my heart's desire is to energize, encourage, and empower those of whom I come in contact. In the book of Genesis, God spoke the whole world into existence with powerful faith-filled words. This act in itself confirms that words are the most powerful thing in the universe. The truth that is relevant based on God's word says that life and death are in the power of the tongue. I take that to mean that I can have what I say. So instead of saying what I have, I choose to call those things to be not as though they are. For example, if you are sick, call yourself healed. Or if you are in lack, call yourself sufficiently and abundantly supplied. These are the truths that are relevant in my life, and I strive to stay connected to Christ by believing his word. In conclusion, that brings us to this relevant truth. Since we are in him, Everything that he possesses is ours. This is taken from the book, The Radical Life of Grace by Creflo Dollar. And that's the end.
I would have never thought that was a
Great
piece from
job.
Creflo Dollar. Yeah, it was really cool.
Okay, class, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to leave. And
No problem.
if you want to give me a prompt for next week, you can send it to me.
Oh, no problem. I'm gonna just keep class as it is, and we'll start afresh next week on lessons and everything. So if anybody wants to write anything or present anything next week, feel free. We're gonna go into next week. We're gonna go into having some pieces written where we would have to make change our voice or voices and use some type of acting. I want you all to start to try to feel comfortable with doing something like that while you're at home, so that you can get more comfortable with being outwardly like that on stage.
All righty, thank
You
you.
know, like one person that I think is really, oh, thank you so much, Miss Gloria. Have a wonderful day.
All right, thanks.
One person I think is really good at that type of thing is, I just had the person on the tip of my tongue. Is Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey, you all know the white guy from In Living Color, and he plays several characters like the Grinch. He really expresses himself through his, even though his comedic nature, he actually expresses himself a lot with facial expressions and body movements. So, you know, think about some character that you might want to change your voice in, or it could be an alter ego or a past person. It could be yourself as a child. It could be a baby. It could be, you know, an old lady or a monster. I'm not sure, but sort of try to start thinking about something like that, and we're gonna move forward with that next week.
Kimberlie. Kimberlie. Kimberlie.
Yes, ma'am.
I read a poem back in September 2020, September 2020. I wanted to send you that so it could be read. You can see if you would like to read it during the thing tomorrow.
Okay, please send that to me. You got my email address?
Let me make sure. I got Kimberlie.Wright@FultonCountyGA.gov.
Word up. Get it, Miss Betty. All right. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
You told us to write a letter to someone in the class. What happened to that? Is that just a prompt or what?
Oh, no, you so right. Did you write a letter?
I had so much to do. I said, what in the world is Kim?
Did you write a letter to somebody in the class?
Started it.
Okay, it's okay. We're gonna come back on that.
Oh, I didn't have that one. I must not have been
Yeah, I
present.
told you Kim gave us so much to do. I was writing all this stuff. I said, what in the world am I doing?
Thank you so much. All right, I wrote a letter to someone in the class.
I did
And
too.
it is to Miss Jean Blackshear Harris.
Do I receive it or do I said return to sender?
Well, here it is.
All right.
Dear Miss Jean Blackshear Harris, you work so hard in the Word Up class that all I want you to do is relax. P.S. Your teacher, Kimberlie Wright. That's my letter to you.
Well, I can't relax anymore. I wrote one. I fall off the chair. I wrote one. I was writing one to Miss Betty.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Oh, my God.
Are you going, okay, shall I
I
read it?
won't
We don't
mind.
have time.
You can
Do
read
we
it
have
next
time?
time if you're not finished, but if you finish, if you can, you're more than welcome.
Well, I'll just start it. And then I'm gonna have you guys want to hear some more. Dear Miss Betty, your smile lights up the room and your face has a glow that makes everyone feel better.
Oh, my goodness.
That's
Thank you.
That's just the beginning. You wait till I get through it.
Uh-oh. You too much.
But it's true. It's true, Miss Betty. Your smile, and you don't,
Thank you.
even when you say, would you like some collard greens?
Oh,
She does. She says it just like that.
You feel like it's a special invitation from you to the person. And you always have that smile. It's just, it's ingratiating, it's lovely, and it's sincere.
thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm still working on my letter to you, though. That was just the beginning.
Okay, I did. I did mine to Kim.
What you already read, or you still working on it?
Huh?
I said you
Well,
read it.
yeah. Uh-huh.
What?
I was gonna do it. I might need to work on it some
Oh, no
more,
problem.
but
That's fine.
I started it off. Thank you, Kim, is what my title is. And I said, when I first met Kim, she looked at me real strange, but she became a very good friend of mine. And she has so much patience with us as seniors. And I really appreciate the work you do with us on Word Up and in our other classes. Keep going strong, Kim. You are a very special person and
Thank
willing
you.
to help everyone. So
Thank
that's
you, Ms.
what I
Betty.
have on that.
Thank you so much. So you had something to say, Ms. Jean. Go ahead, Ms. Jean.
Yes, ma'am. And I'm doing my best to age you.
Where you see this gray crown around here.
See, it's working. It's working.
So I have something to say.
Okay.
What do you call a fake noodle?
Fake.
The answer is, let me give y'all a hint. The answer is what Miss Vicky is to comedy.
It's an
Miss Vicky,
imposter.
Imposter. You're an imposter, Miss Vicky.
Imposter.
Miss Vicky be coming with these corny jokes, thinking I'm not gonna find the answer, but
She cheats and looks them up. Cheetah.
but I told her if she stopped looking online for jokes and make up her own, then maybe I won't know the answer.
Right.
A joke of the day.
Oh, that's fun. That's good.
Yeah, all right. So thank you all so much. You know that lunch is here at Darnell from 11:30 to 1:30. You all more than welcome to come and get you some delicious lunch. If you don't know what's for lunch today we are having fried chicken,
Oh.
Cajun baked chicken, fried okra, roasted garlic rosemary potatoes,
Woo.
side salad, cornbread, dinner rolls, and drinks or bottled water. So I will see you all tomorrow in our Grandparents' Day celebration. Please, Ms. Vicky, send me the info or anybody else that wants me to recite a grandmama, granddaddy, or grandparents piece. And I will see you all tomorrow. Let me see you pump your fists. Word up, word up. This is the class all about poetry, spoken word, and short story. Oh, I'm so sorry, I had one more thing to say. Even though I know it's Corona, did you all know, can anybody name any of the best spoken word venues in Atlanta? Meaning the place where you're able to go and perform spoken word. Anybody know any name of a spoken word place?
We went to
No.
one called the Garage, and they had improv. And it was very interesting, to say the least. I think it's something's garage, Dad's Garage or something over in 4th Ward.
Okay, that's a new one for me. Well, you know, for years, since I was in my 20s, they've always had this place called the Apache Cafe. I don't know if you ever heard of the Apache Cafe, but it used to be in the parking lot right there by the Varsity. Yeah. And they also have the Apache Cafe now is on Woodrow Street. They have this place called Red Light Cafe. It's on Amsterdam Avenue. They have Cats with a K, Cats Cafe. It's on, I want to say it's in Midtown Atlanta. And then they have a really cool place on Marietta Street called Urban Grind, Urban Grind. So these are some places that you can find spoken word. And also we have spoken word at the Harriet G. Darnell facility with our wonderful senior participants. So don't sleep on them. They have a lot to say, baby. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful and blessed day. My name is Kimberlie Wright. I love you. Peace. And so.
Word up.
All
Tell Melody
right.
I said hi. Tell Melody I said hi.
I sure will.
Peace,
I
everybody.
sure will. Thank you.